Hi. How you doing? How you be? Top to the AV and gay and tech news. And oh my God, I am alive and I'm starting on time, which is very rare for me. I'm trying to get associated with it. It's not normal, but in gaming and PC news, is a PC worth it? That's an interesting question. What's your favorite Windows operating system? And Diablo 4 again, right after this. Hi, I'm Anthony, and if you are new here, consider subscribing. We actually troubleshoot and help people with their technical issues and PC gaming issues, and subscribing will help us grow the channel and help more people. Thanks. Forum, how you doing? How you be? Top to the AB. Hope everybody had a good day at work and or school and or other. My name is Anthony, or the Open Forum, and we are gaming adjacent. Essentially, we help people with their technical issues, PC issues, this, that, and the other. And we talk a little noise, have a little fun here, talk about a few subjects here and there. And yeah, I do apologize. Last week was a blur. I don't know what happened. I don't claim most of what happened last week. It was difficult. But oh, my chat is not up yet. Give me one quick second here. I thought it was up, but it was up, but it just wasn't showing anything. It wasn't updating. So more than likely I have to log in again. So give me 1 second here. There we go. And there we go. I think that's right. Hope it is. It's right. There we go. Okay, this is looking better. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, so hope everybody's having a good day at work. I got my glasses back, so I was using my old school glasses because I was waiting on my new glasses to come back in. They just came back in, so yeah. And I done got a haircut because obviously I beat Zelda. There's no way I'm getting a haircut and looking like a normal person unless I beat Zelda. So I just got finished beating Zelda. It was an experience. Okay. There are only two games that have this particular tier, and that is Dragon Quest VIII and now Tears of the Kingdom. They have two different games. And I'm not giving away any spoilers. This is no spoilers, nothing like that. But we'll just talk about Dragon Quest because it's the oldest. Dragon Quest is a game within the game. You could beat the game and not experience the game at all. The real game is what happens after you beat the game. Tears of the Kingdom is very similar. You could beat the game and not experience anything, or you could just play the game and then experience the true ending, right? So it's in very rarefied air with me. There's only one game that's ever done that: God of War, Elden Ring, and are those the only two games? And Breath of the Wild. Those are the only real three games that are in that caliber, but none of them fulfill that and Witcher 3, of course. None of them fulfill that extra one where it's a game within a game. Well, Witcher is also in that rarefied air, obviously because of Gwent, but the other ones aren't in that rarefied air. So those three: Dragon Quest, Witcher 3, and now Tears of the Kingdom. That game is so good. Okay. I do recommend, though, not playing the story at all. Just do everything else but play the story. But without further ado here, we can go ahead and get things started. So let's see here. If I remember how to actually play this. All right, we'll keep it on Diablo because Diablo is one of the topics. We'll swap off to something else here in a second. Make sure my recording and everything looks good. Everything looks good. And make sure you guys hear nothing in the background. Yeah, you look good. Okay. Sorry about that. I know a couple days ago there was audio in the background because I had just got Zelda. I was so excited, but I was so sloppy. I don't know. I think when it comes to some of these games that take your life away, typically, well, there's only really a few for me. It's usually going to be anything from Software or anything from Nintendo that is Zelda related. Those are the only ones. Or maybe Mario, but Mario has never been as bad as Zelda. Mario will take your weekend. Zelda will take your life. Zelda will take your whole week while you play Zelda. So Mario has never been on Zelda's level when it comes to taking lives from you. A one weekend and Mario's beat, so I never really saw that happen. But those games that are in that era, I got to figure out a way to do it. I wanted to just say, hey, I'll be back in a week. But whenever I do something like that, it just doesn't feel right because then I'm kind of off and there are people that we're helping and they won't be able to get assistance and all that kind of jazz. So it makes it a little difficult. I'll still try to figure it out. Like I'm going on vacation in June. So I'll still try to work that in, but we'll see how it goes. Alrighty. We'll start. I don't want to start with this one. We'll mix it up. All right, so we'll start with this one. Is a PC worth it? I use an A1 Mac Air, a laptop from Apple, valued at $1,000 at the time of its inception, and everybody should know what a MacBook Air is, with the A1 chip. For everything I need to do on a computer, from gaming to papers, it's honestly just enough for everything. I was wondering if building a PC in my case would be even worth it. How much money would I realistically have to spend to make an improvement over my current system? I get 30 FPS in Minecraft with all the shaders and mods. I like 60 to 80 FPS on most games. It loads everything fast, and I'm pretty happy with it. If I spent less than $1,000 on building an actual PC from scratch, would it be worth it? Would it last long enough to warrant the investment? This is an excellent question, and it brings into mind the Neo, the Steam Deck, and the ROG Ally. This person here, for Mac users, I actually don't recommend them building a PC. Typically, for people who are, I would say, 80% or better happy with the Mac, there really isn't a point of building your own PC. The reason is you're not going to use them both at the same time. No human does, unless you know you have work on one and then video games on the other. Outside of that, most regular people don't use both at the same time. So really, you'd be probably better off, especially like him in this particular situation, in going with keeping his MacBook, but instead buying himself something like the Neo or the ROG Ally or the Steam Deck, whichever one tickles his fancy. And that would only be like $600-700, and then he'll be good to go and not have to worry about it. So any game that comes in, I would say ROG Ally in his case, obviously. That way, if there's any game that comes in that can't be played on the Mac or can't be played with a streaming service, because you can actually stream games, and that would actually take care of a lot of it. But particularly when it comes to MMOs, he would be okay. But I don't think he plays MMOs because he said he played Minecraft. But I think that the best option for people with Macs that are 80% happy with Macs will be a handheld Windows PC. So yeah, that's what I would agree with on his one here. Let's see. Let's just go ahead and let him know. Actually, for you, I think a handheld device like a ROG Ally, Neo 2, or a Steam Deck would be best, since you are pretty mobile with the Mac and it already fulfills most of your needs. The ROG Ally specifically allows you to play most games that are not supported on Mac / well, ROG Ally specifically gives you 120 FPS, gives you 120, well, actually 120 hertz refresh, allows you to play most games that are not supported on Mac / live streaming services like MMOs. Well, some MMOs. Some MMOs are supported on some of the live streaming gaming apps. So I would say for him though, ROG Ally would probably be his best bet. Plus, it keeps him under that $1,000 mark. Neo 2 is kind of expensive. I'm not sure if they lowered their prices since ROG Ally was born. But yeah, I would say for him, a handheld gaming device would probably be better and more up his alley. All right, Diablo 4 official story launch trailer. Only reason why I wanted to do this, and y'all know that we've done a whole lot of stuff on Diablo, but one of the reasons why I wanted to do this is because some things happened with Overwatch, and I want to kind of talk about Overwatch and Diablo 4 and where my expectations are, which are non-existent. Oh, can't hear anything. Hold on. Oh, that was my fault. I was trying to find my headset, which is why I couldn't hit the come on, for crying out loud. Okay. I couldn't find my headset, and I missed the countdown, and it was actually under my MacBook.
Sanctuary.
There we go. Let me go back. There we go. All right, here we go.
Sanctuary has always been trapped amid the eternal conflict. A war between angels and demons. But Lilith serves neither side. She was banished ages ago, but this world is her creation.
My children, the lords of hell are coming to devour our world.
Hell is coming. Hell is coming.
Resist her temptation.
I have not come to save, but to empower. I will give you freedom and more.
May we fight true in his holy name.
The time of prophecy has come, knights. We march on hell.
I'm glad to be alone, not one to save me.
See now the work of your
Your lives and those of all humanity depend on what you do next. If we can't stop Lilith, we'll all be damned.
Glad to be alone.
Yo, oh, girl should have had a gun or something. I'm sorry if you just run around with robes and there's demons everywhere. What sense is it to make just to have like nothing on you? Like at least have a knife. Good Lord, girl, you didn't get chopped up. Yo, Faith, come on now. Be the first one dead. But Diablo 4, oh, I don't even know what to say because of the whole Activision Blizzard thing. Okay, so Diablo 4, I am excited to play. I will play some. I don't know how much I'm going to play it. I don't know if I would play it as much as I've played Lost Ark and Diablo 3. I've played them a lot, but I haven't. Diablo 3 I was really into, especially when it was on the Nintendo Switch because of the button placement. But now Diablo 4 actually has that button placement on all consoles and all PCs, and so it makes it a little bit easier. But Diablo 4 worries me because I feel like Diablo 4 is going to be a console version of Diablo Immortal, and I think that no matter what they say, I don't trust them. And it just I cannot, because Diablo Immortal makes so much money. Okay, and it's not that I don't trust them because they're bad people or anything like that. It's just that I don't trust them because I wouldn't trust me in that situation. If you got a game that's making $2 million a day, okay, I mean it is pumping. Well, not even too much. I think it's like $200 million a day. Like, it's a stupid amount of money, right? They're making a stupid amount of money off of Diablo Immortal. Okay, why on earth would they change? Would they not deviate from that? Like, create a gaming one where Diablo 4 in the game is actually the precedent instead of the payment options. Because if you make it where the gaming is precedent, sure, you'll keep some people. But if you make it where the payment is precedent, you may make more money. So I get that having honor amongst players, but they have not given proof that they honor players. They honor their pocketbooks. And if they're making more money off of Diablo Immortal than they are any other game in their franchise, then maybe that is the right way to go and exploit everyone. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying exploit as in taking advantage. Well, it is taking advantage of. I guess that's probably the right word. It's more of a online gambling. That's essentially what it is. It's online gambling with no results. And I just, especially what happened with Overwatch, and they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna have this PvE and this PvP side of it, and we're gonna change the monetization and all that kind of stuff, and then they just completely nixed PvE. I feel like Diablo 4 will be the exact same way, where they're not gonna go too far and away outside of the scope of what they need for Diablo 4 in order to make it work. Basically, it's going to be like Diablo 3's DLC. The reason is there's no point. If it's not going to bring in as much money as Diablo Immortal, then what's the point? You see what I'm saying? From their perspective. So I worry drastically about Diablo 4. I think it's going to be as money heavy as Diablo Immortal. Probably not as in your face about it as Diablo Immortal. Diablo Immortal is unapologetically, hey, you can buy this for $5 or you can buy this for $2. And then next time you can buy this for $7 or $5. And then next time you can buy this for $15 or $7. But if you buy this for $15, you get extra, you know, and they're very, very in your face about the whole gambling situation. And plus you don't get anything back on your return on investment. So I'm not crazy about what they've done with Diablo Immortal, and I'm really not crazy about Diablo 4 coming after it, or any games that they make coming after it. I feel like it's no longer Blizzard, it is more so just Activision. Thank you, Overwatch. You're the reason why I have this opinion now, and Diablo Immortal, of course. But Overwatch, after they took out the PvE, I don't trust them at all anymore. I just feel like everything is about money with them at this point, and they'll do whatever it takes in order for it to be the biggest cash cow with the lowest amount of effort and programmers. Alrighty, what is your favorite Windows? That is a good question. So when we're talking about favorite Windows, are we talking about favorite Windows to troubleshoot, or are we talking about my favorite Windows in general? If we're talking about, okay, we'll do it both ways, right? My favorite Windows in general, I would say Windows 8, because Windows 8, because I have better times when I was on Windows 8, because it was the first time where they tried to go away from a computer in your office. Instead, they wanted a computer on your television. That was the first time they went away from it, was with Windows 8 and creating the whole tiles and widgets and what it's become. And now you got handhelds and consoles that run Windows. Because of what it's become, I would say Windows 8. And plus, I made a lot of money on Windows 8 when I won a contest about, you know, having it set up as a home theater PC. So that holds a special place in my heart, is Windows 8. But troubleshooting, I prefer to troubleshoot Windows 10. Windows 11 kind of has issues that can pop up that may have no explanation whatsoever, whereas Windows 10 is pretty in your face about it. Windows 7 was okay, but Windows 7, Windows 7 it's kind of outdated right now, and even when I was troubleshooting Windows 7, I got around it just fine. It's just that Windows 10 is a little bit more intuitive for just troubleshooting and helping people, as well as trying to find things for people. Windows 11, it gets a little murky, right? You know, like network connections is not in the same place. Screen resolution is not in the same place. Windows Update is barely in the same place, you know? So everything kind of moves around a little bit, and it's kind of annoying. So I would go with Windows 10 when it comes to troubleshooting, because back when it was Windows 10, everything becomes a little bit easier for everybody to navigate. Alrighty, so we'll as far as gaming goes, we did Zelda like twice. So let's do Call of Duty. Why not? We haven't done Call of Duty in forever. Once Zelda took my life over, it was always Zelda, but we'll do Call of Duty right now. Let me make sure that looks good. Yeah, that looks good. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and go to the first ticket. All right. Oh Lord, this is long. We'll see how long we keep reading it, but we'll see what we can do. Hold on. There we go. Okay, help. Phone bill shows suspicious activity on a SIM card I'm not even using. Wife doesn't believe me. I don't know if this is a network issue or a family issue or whatever, but we'll try our best. As the title says, I have a phone number for a phone that I broke months ago that I haven't got fixed yet, so I haven't used a SIM card since then. My wife has gone through the phone bill and seen random text messages and messages sent with attachments and called to numbers that she has looked up and believes to be escort phone numbers. Also, some numbers appear to have been sent to contacts that I used to have, but I have not contacted any of these people. This is an issue she can't get over and does not believe me that I have nothing to do with. Our cellular provider, Freedom Wireless, the irony is not lost on me. Our cellular provider, Freedom Wireless, tells her it's not possible. It's not me, that she basically shouldn't believe me. I asked her to have access to the phone bills, and they told her that she should not give it to me. Has anyone experienced this? If so, are there any answers? Also, does anyone have any recommendations for subs I should post this in? The SIM card has been in the house while I have been gone all day and shows activity while I am gone. This all started happening after I stopped using the phone when it broke. When it broke, I just started using my work cell phone full time for everything. Hence, I haven't rushed to get the phone fixed as I haven't had the money, but haven't have every intention of fixing and resuming using that phone. Okay, so you have two issues. One, you have a trust issue, and two, you have a phone issue. But the phone issue really isn't as bad. I think it's really more so about the trust issue. The fact that she's running through your phone bill, and you know, and she's already suspicious that she doesn't believe you and all this kind of stuff. It's looking very bleak, man. There's no, at that point in time, there are very few words that can actually get you out of this. Cause I mean, you're pretty much in a bad state. Well, you have, well, hold on. First off, let's say this first. First off, the phone provider, the irony of Freedom Wireless is not lost on me. LOL. Secondly, you have two issues, my friend. One, trust, and two, phone. One, the trust issue is the bigger one, as I don't believe words will get you out of this, will get you out of this. Doesn't really matter what you say. However, it does matter what you do. How about if you have no issues? Leave the phone with her and see if you still see phone calls going from your phone. If it's with her, she knows you're not using it. But, you know, I mean, it doesn't solve the trust part, you know, but that's how you would fix it and let her believe that you're telling the truth, is that if you give her the phone and you still are receiving numbers and still saying that you're calling people, even though she's got the phone and the SIM card, then phone/SIM card. Seriously, phone going from your phone/SIM card. Yeah, if she has the phone and the SIM card and she still sees you calling, then she'll believe you because she has no choice, right? Because she's the one who's had the phone. So essentially, there's no words that can actually help you with that one, bro. Like it's over. Like there's nothing you can say, because the way you make it sound as if it's not that she is bad or you're bad or anything like that. It's just that once that thought is in there, and there's no getting around it, and you know, and on top of that, the internet service provider isn't helping. They're being kind of getting your business kind of thing. Once you have something like that going, bro, there's not a whole lot you can do to get out of it, because you kind of put yourself in a position, whether willingly or unwillingly, where, you know, she doesn't have any type of proof that can lead her to trust you. Therefore, you have to do something that will put her mind at ease, you know, if you want to earn her trust in that particular favor. So that's what I would say. I would just give it to her. Just give her the phone. And if you still get phone calls, then she will believe you, but it doesn't really handle the fact that she still doesn't trust you. So, you know, you do what you got to do, man. You know, I'm not exactly the best person to ask about relationships, but that's what I would do in that particular situation. As for the phone issue, as for the phone calls, it sounds like there may be a mix-up on the SIM. I would try to swap it out or get a new number to see if that makes a difference. But yeah, that's what I would do. Really, you don't really have a technical issue. You really have a trust issue. And I mean, even if you gave her the phone, I don't know if you will be able to get around that whole trust thing, man. It's It's not good. It's not good. And I'll just leave it at that. I'm not trying to get into too much into people's business. Most people have more experience with this. I think you said this is his wife, right? Yeah, this is his wife, bro. You got way more experience than I do with relationships. You're already doing better than I am, man. Well, okay, depending on perspective, I guess. But we'll leave it at that. All right, let's go ahead and go to the next one. That was fun. I like mixing these up. What do you think about Final Fantasy 16? Now that some previews are out, I wanted to know what you think about it. Do you like how it looks? Not so much. Can it win Game of the Year? No. Game of the Year? No. GOTY? No. Tears of the Kingdom. The Kingdom is the best game since Dragon Quest VIII. Yeah, no. It's not winning anything. But do I like it? Yes. Will I play it? Yes. So far, I mean, we've seen previews, we've seen trailers, we've looked at trailers, and I've seen a lot of gameplay. You know, I don't know. Final Fantasy used to hold that spot, right? When it was 10, when it was 12. Some of the Lightning stuff I think hurt it a lot because Lightning was such a boring character because she was like a robot, right? To be fair, Cloud is also a robot, but people didn't like Final Fantasy 7 because of Cloud. People like Final Fantasy 7 because of Sephiroth. So that's a little different. They like the villain. But Final Fantasy 12, I don't even remember the villains. I remember Jet, Final Fantasy 10, and I remember Sephiroth, Final Fantasy 7. That's about it. There wasn't really a whole lot of reason to remember. Like Cloud's character is a lot like Lightning's character, but Cloud had Sephiroth and his battles with Sephiroth, and the fact that he was actually in psychosis, like he thought he was another character. Like that's Cloud's story. Like he really is a soldier, but he took on the name of another soldier. You know what I mean? And Sephiroth is his whole background with Geneva and everything like that. It was a huge thing, but for me, Lightning never really had that. It was just her and her sister, and that was a thing, but I never really thought about them being, you know, just the best game or anything like that. But I just thought that was going downhill. Now, the new one that came out, I think it was like 15 or something like that. I thought it was great. I thought that one was really good. The one where it was the bros and they were on a vacation or towards their death. That one I thought was pretty good. You know what I mean? It was an overall a good game. I thought it was really, really good. I liked it. I played it. I beat it. You know, but it never even once did it ever cross my mind that it had a chance of being Game of the Year, though. It was a really, really good game, but I definitely never saw it as Game of the Year material ever. So, you know, I think Final Fantasy is kind of in that sweet spot between, you know, being a solid 8 out of 10 for most of their Final Fantasy titles, and then, you know, they have their MMO that's just great, you know. So yeah, I think that's kind of where Final Fantasy finds themselves in. I don't know why I do that in Fire and Range. I feel like this Fire and Range does not feel like the old Fire and Range, and so it messes me up a lot. Like I don't look in the same line sites that I normally look and all that kind of jazz. But yeah, that was stupid. But yeah, but that's why I feel about it. You know, I think Final Fantasy 16, I think it's going to be okay, but I think it's just not going to be Game of the Year. I think it's going to get blown out by Tears of the Kingdom. But it will be, I can't even see that. It will be a good game. 8 out of 10-ish is usually what they fall in en masse. LOL with that company. I mean, that's just what they fall into, you know. They just kind of all of their cases. I'm thinking of Lian Li, and I was like, oh, a good comparison to Final Fantasy would be Lian Li. Like a lot of their cases are just good cases, but they're not great, you know. And they're not 10 out of 10s, but they always have like really good cases. Maybe Corsair kind of falls into that platform too. They just make really, really good products, but I wouldn't call any of it just like the best thing I've ever had in my entire life. You know what I mean? Well, I take that back. Oh no, this is a Lian Li 011 D Mini, so that one's pretty sweet. But you know, with Final Fantasy, I really don't see it being anything close to 10 out of 10. Room gaming setup. Let's take a look. Oh, it's pretty. So he got the blue and white. He has the Big Daddy version of mine, which let me turn on the Xbox so I can switch inputs properly. Yeah, so he has the adult version of mine. I have the child version with that allows me to have like a lovely screen, but you can have a screen on the big one too. It's just that it's not as flush as this one is, but you know, still pretty sweet. So with his, and I like, these are Leafs. I like them, but they're really expensive for what you get. You only get like 2 or 3. You can't even form a shape. You got to. It takes like $300 to form a full shape. But I do like the Leafs. They're all really nice. I don't like cables running through them though. I got to figure out a way to get some that are set up that don't require cables. Maybe run on batteries or something. But yeah, I mean, overall, I like his build. I like his setup. It's very nice and very light. I like light, airy setups that are kind of like not obtrusive. And I like his Zelda statue. That's pretty sweet. So yeah, congrats to him. Congrats, bro. Dope build. Congrats, bro. I know y'all can't see that. Oop, there we go. Congrats, bro. Dope setup. Oh, one of these days I got to do a tour. I have plans on doing a tour in one of my videos one of these days, and I need to actually put on a calendar, that way I can stop saying one of these days. And a PC build review, a PC build tour from this one and my portable one coming up here pretty soon, because I need to, because I won't be here for very much longer. I'll maybe be at this particular place for another 6 months, but that's about it. So, you know, I want to go ahead and do a tour while I have it. Alrighty, this is our first repeat. All right, let's do this. So this is the Xiaomi phone microphone. Hi there, got a new Xiaomi Redmi Note 11 Pro. Made videos, but the sound of the recordings are horrible. Sorry, I gotta press that. The sound of the recordings are horrible. What can I do if I don't want to root my phone? Please help me. Why don't you want to reboot? Oh, root. I'm so sorry. I just read that. I don't know why I read reboot. That's a normal T-Shooting set. What kind of recordings are we talking about? Are you on the most up-to-date firmware? What app are you recording with? With the camera app, what do you mean reboot? The recordings are videos and sound files. Sorry, what is firmware? My apologies. I read this while playing Tears of the Kingdom. LOL. I thought you said reboot and not root. Okay. By firmware, I mean, are you on the latest version of Android? And then with the camera app. Okay, so made videos, but the sound of the recordings are horrible. By firmware, I mean the latest version of Android. Well, when it comes to phone sound, it's not really going to be great in general. You may be better off recording while using something like AirPods or a separate mic. You know, it depends on what kind of quality he's after. What kind of quality are you after? Yeah, I really think that's okay. People's ideas of mic quality is subjective. Like, if you ask me what my idea of mic quality is, well, I'm gonna give you a whole lot, right? Because we've reviewed mics, I've seen mics, I've worked with mics, I have a Shure SM7B, I have a, Sennheiser MK11, I can't remember what it's called, M something, whatever. I have Sennheiser mics, I have Shure mics, I have Rode mics. I've done videos on mics. That actually used to be what this channel used to be about, was a whole lot of mics. So asking me about mics is a totally different answer than asking anyone else about mics. For me, I don't record mic quality on phones. That's never my goal. My goal with a phone is to record video that I couldn't otherwise get with my camera. Like, for example, if we're dining out and you're at a restaurant and your camera would be too bulky, or if we're on a roller coaster ride and you're trying to record something that's really, really cool that you've never seen before, or we're, you know, something saying, so places where you normally wouldn't take your camera, you would take your phone. That's usually when I record. So I never record the actual mic. I don't use it anyway. I end up doing a voiceover 9 times out of 10. So for me, I don't really have that purpose. A lot of people that are trying to record themselves on their phones, though, let's say you're a TikToker or something like that, that'll be a little different. And for that, I would say you would be better off using AirPods in almost all situations. So, in almost all situations, you'll be better off using some type of a headset than using the mic in anything, unless it's like an iPhone. So for the Xiaomi, you know, you can go to try to route it to see if that helps, but I don't know if that would. I don't know if it would give you quality that would make it so that it would be desirable. I think your best option would be instead to just go ahead and go with something like an AirPod headset or any type of headset that you would desire. I get that we're talking about an AirPod headset on a Android phone. However, the mic quality doesn't differentiate by having it on a Android phone. What differentiates is the sound quality. Doesn't sound as good for some reason, and it doesn't give you as many options. But the mic quality is actually still pretty good, regardless if it's Android or if it's on iOS. So yeah, that's what I would say for that. I'm so sorry about that, bro. My answer was trash. I'm sorry. That week was a blur, man. I don't know what I answered to some of these tickets. I thought I was helping, but probably not. Sorry about that, man. But that's the real answer. Alrighty, so this is from Challenger BDK. Challenger writes, streaming apps behaving weirdly on smart TV. This is interesting. So a lot of these are going to be kind of mixed up now. I'm starting to like this idea where we answer random questions. Like some of them may be tech-based, some of them may be life-based, some of them may be real estate-based, but there's some technical aspects to it. So I think that is starting to be where I'm kind of seeing myself going, because just talking about tech 24/7 becomes kind of annoying for a lot of people. So, you know, because we'll mess around. Okay, well, what's your DNS settings? Okay, what's your DNS setup? Are you pulling a 169 IP address? Like, I can go in, and when I do that, there's just no return. It's like, how do you return to, you know, start talking about Zelda after you just fix this man computer? So it's a point of no return on that. So I think that keeping it kind of light and airy is kind of where I want to go with it. But Challenger BDK, not like we can't. So if somebody was to call in once I set that up and ask questions that start to get technical, it's not like I can't. It's just that I prefer not to, because when we start going into places that other people can't follow, you know, and I may have to break it down a little bit. But even then, you know, if you're kind of just starting to get into it, it may be a little difficult for people to understand. Hi, sorry if this is the wrong place for this question. Doesn't matter, because I'm going to answer it regardless. But I'm kind of stumped. For some reason, the video aspects of apps like YouTube and Netflix on my girlfriend's smart TV appear as static. Yet the rest of the apps work perfectly. Audio comes through and I can navigate on the apps, but all the video is broken. The TV is a Hitachi smart TV. Unsure the exact model. Any ideas are appreciated. I do have a video that goes with this question, but it seems attachments aren't allowed. Okay, well, a few things. What do you mean when you say static? Because static can mean, okay, if we're talking about static versus dynamic, then that means that the picture isn't moving. If we're talking about static as opposed to like cable, then we're talking about regular static as in noise. But noise can be video or audio. Video noise means missing packets, and that usually shows itself in tiling. See, there I go. And audio static shows itself in drop calls because the traffic is UDP. If we're talking about transferring signal, okay? So yeah, I with this one here, I don't, what's his definition of static? If we talking about science static, or if he's talking about tech static? What's your definition of static? Not moving or noise? Are you using the smart services of the TV itself? Do you have a, what's it called? Fire Stick, a Fire Stick, or Roku, etc.? If so, swap to that and see if it makes a difference. Also, is the TV on Wi-Fi or directly plugged into the router? If you can't see that, no, I cannot. If it's on Wi-Fi, then go ahead and plug directly in to router to see if it makes a difference. Router to see if it makes a difference. I've seen this both ways. We've troubleshot this both ways. We've had people call in with these kind of issues, and or not necessarily call in, but open tickets with these kind of issues. And you know, I am not a fan of using the smart TV services of televisions because they're typically weaker than Roku's, Fire Sticks, so on and so forth. Now, it's not that I am against it. It's just I'm against it at certain price points. If it's a $300 television that's supposed to be a smart TV, it's not going to have the best processor, is what I'm trying to get at. You'll be far better and happier just buying a $20 Fire Stick than you would be using the smart TV service. And a lot of times people get caught in that by the fact that it says that it's a smart TV, even though they only paid $200, $300 on it when they got it on, you know, Black Friday or something. And they expect it to be just, you know, the best when it comes to smart TV functionality, and that's just not the case. Typically, it's going to match whatever price you paid for it. So if you bought a $500 television, you can't expect the processor to be that fast to actually transcode the media files. It's just not going to be that great. You're better off just buying a Roku or a Fire Stick or whatever tickles your fancy in that mode, and then use that instead. So I'm not crazy about it. And on top of that, he already started with the Hitachi Smart TV. You know what I mean? Most people buy Hitachi aren't really buying at the higher price point. They're usually buying at the lower price point. That's the reason why I say that. I think that it would be better in their interest just to go with like a Roku or a Fire Stick instead of trying to troubleshoot why their TV is slow, because more than likely it just is. It's just a cheaper television. You know what I mean? If he doesn't really know the model, then it really doesn't matter. I really would just get a Roku stick, and whenever you go over your girlfriend's house, just plug that in. Alrighty. Why is it American Express? What? All right, closing out group 1. That was a good group. I like it. That went really well. Oh, I'm sorry, that was group 2. Group 3, let's do it. What to do if your PC doesn't detect your mic. This is a repeat. So a couple of days ago, I'm not going to read the entire thing, but we'll see how it goes. A couple of days ago, I found out that when I plug in my headset, my PC detects the headphones, but not the mic attached to them. Additional notes, the headset can be connected with a single 3.5mm jack or with a USB, but if I connect them with a USB, the PC doesn't detect my headphones. It's also not an issue on the mic side since it works fine on other devices. I also have installed all the newest drivers I needed to install on my PC. There is also a single jack port on my PC, so changing the port is not an option. Any ideas? Well, the 3.5mm cord you are using, does it have 3 rings or does it have a split audio and video 3.5mm? Also, what do you see for audio inputs in the sound screen? The jack has 3 rings. Okay, well, that answers the question. Also, what do you mean by sound screen? If it's the input window in the audio settings, there is no device. That's exactly what I meant. That's exactly what I meant. Exactly what I meant. What color is the audio port on the back? Is this a PC or is it a laptop? On the back of the PC, is it a laptop? If so do you have a pair of 3-ring headphones you can swap with to test? I can't spell headphones apparently. That's exactly what I meant. What color is the audio port on the back of the PC? Oh yeah, I can already see that. Is it a laptop? If so, do you have a pair of 3-ring headphones you can swap with this to test? That's what I would say for this one here, because if you could try USB, but USB doesn't work. Okay, cool, gotcha. Now, whenever you try to plug it into 3.5mm, it still doesn't detect it, and it's supposed to be a combo jack, and you have 3 rings on your headset, but it's still not working. Then that makes me think that maybe the port itself is only supposed to be an audio out. But if it's a laptop, then it's not going to be an audio out. It's always going to be the best one, right? So which is audio as well as mic. So it really kind of just depends on which one you have it set to, or which one it's currently set to. But the fact that it's not seeing it worries me a little bit. You can try to update the drivers on your audio card, but trying a different pair of headphones, I don't care what it is probably the better option, because if it fails on that too, then that lets you know where you are. You know what I mean? So I would just go from, oh my goodness, I would just go from there. I don't know how many of these Call of Duty, I do have some where I'm not playing, what is the name of this map? Where I'm not playing Shipment, but for some reason, I don't know, it just went to this one, so we'll just go with it. But yeah, that's what I say for this one. All right, let's go to, ooh, aren't you pretty? Kinda. Well, I've seen the inside of the PS5. I'm not really crazy about it. It's not really that pretty. Ready for the showcase. Yeah, see, it's not pretty. I'm sorry. Yeah, the PS5 internals is not a looker. 1, 2 mini sandwiches. Yeah, it's not a looker. I've never thought about making it clear. You know what I mean? It's not meant, like, whenever you look at it from this perspective, it's not great to look at. Plus, it is all plastic. I mean, there is so much plastic on that PS5. I mean, not that the console itself is bad. I'm just saying, man, it's a lot of plastic. It's not a good looker. Like, you can't, there's very few ways that you can make a PS5 look good. You know, you can try to change the colors out of the actual skins, but clear definitely isn't the right way to go. I thought it was gonna rap or something, or at least talk, but no. Built my wife her first PC. She was a PlayStation gamer until she started using my PC and got addicted to modding Skyrim. I like it. It's very pretty. I like the white on white, man. Nice build. Though, with that gigantic screen, you can put a monitor in front of it, but outside of that, pretty sweet. Nice build, bro. Nice build, bro. Well, what I was looking at is the motherboard. I was like, man, what kind of motherboard is this? This is a nice motherboard. I like his CPU cooler. It's really nice. Nice build, bro. Great. Well, okay, I don't know if it's great cooling. Great cooling in that case. Well, it is, because it's just a bigger version of mine. But I don't know. I think I have to get away from so many of the these type of cases, because there's just so many of them, and you don't see them using other cases now. There's just always this type of case. Even mine is like that. So now it's just like, okay, I need to get away from that. But still, nice build. Congrats to him. All right, this is no repeat. This is a new one. All right, so this is one ADO, Bluetooth, one audio. I don't know what he was trying to say there. And I'm sorry, I'm still sitting on that. One ADO Bluetooth headphones stuck in paired mode, and I cannot turn it off or pair it. Need help. One night after charging my headphones, then pairing them in the morning, I noticed they had disconnected, but I cannot turn them off and they won't charge when plugged in. Just stuck in paired mode. Any idea what's up? It's stuck in paired mode? Well, can you pair it to other devices? Pair them to other devices in your home? Does it work with them? I would try to pair to something else. I don't care if it's your car. I don't care if it's your car. Then try the original device you were testing with and see if that works. I like blowing people up. That was funny. Let's see if that works. By the way, what device are you pairing it to? There we go. Yeah, just kind of curious. You know, I always thought it was funny that this kind of map is the perfect map for shotguns, yet I never use them. I always use like rockets or some kind of craziness. I've never used shotguns here. I don't know why, but shotguns are great here. I just never really got to it. That was I know why I did that, right? Because I'm running with an RPG, which is stupid to begin with. But if I had shot, then I would have blown myself up and probably not even have killed him because I may have missed, because I may have hit my teammate and it was too close and I was too uncomfortable with the shot. So it was me running around with an RPG in this place is all. It's fun, but it's not exactly ideal. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and go to the next one. This is from, we'll just say 1394 because his vowels and his username don't mean anything. Do I need to be signed into a profile to play games with no internet, even if my console is designated as a home console? So I know my Xbox is my home console set in the settings. I tried playing a game and it asked me to sign into my profile to continue, but I had no internet at the time and was under the impression that if it's home console, then I should choose my digital game and play it. If I have to sign in, that just beats the purpose of doing anything offline with the console. I'm a bit confused on what's happening. Typically, offline would not be a digital game. It would mean the game is physical, but with no way to verify you, some games may not let you play. Case in point, any shooter you can think of. Yeah. Every single shooter will force you to log in. Every last one. I don't care if we're talking about Borderlands. It'll still require you to sign in. Like all shooters are kind of feel that way. Hey, I'm using the shotgun. I just talked about you. I couldn't remember the last time I've used a shotgun, but there we go. Obviously this one isn't mine. This is somebody else's. And I'm just borrowing their shotgun because I ran out of bullets on my gun probably. But yeah, shotguns. I don't use them all that much. I don't know why. I'm not even on the point. But yeah, there you go, shotgun. But yeah, that's what I would say for this one. Just try to get some more information. But typically, it happens whenever it's physical. But they've changed their rules so much, it's hard for us to keep track of it. But I would rather see, what kind of game he was trying to play is what I'm really trying to get out here. Because once we know what game he was trying to play, we can kind of go from there. He was like, oh man, I was trying to play Call of Duty and I couldn't play it offline. He was like, well, you were trying to play Call of Duty, so whose fault is it? You know what I mean? But we'll see what he says and just kind of go from there. Alrighty, group 4. Group 4 says, intelligent putt. Okay, intelligent putt as in golfer. Computer only connects to Wi-Fi for a few minutes. Wi-Fi works in other devices. My computer disconnects to the internet for more than a few minutes, but other devices can keep a stable connection. I have already tried various methods from the internet, but nothing works. Any idea what could be causing the problem? Sure. Is your PC wired or wireless? If it's wired, we'll keep it light. We won't go too crazy on this. If it's wireless, try wired. Even if it's temporary, to see if it fixes the issue. If it's wired and giving you this problem, try to check for updates for your network card. Keep us posted on how that goes. I know y'all can't see that, but it was a lot to type, so I didn't feel like a real point in actually putting it there. But yeah, just let us know how that goes. But essentially, trying to figure out if you're on Wi-Fi or wired is really the first step you want to go in all situations. So that way we can get an idea of the best way to handle that particular situation. But we're not gonna go too crazy on it, start talking about IP addresses and all of that. We'll just keep it brief and see where he's at with it. Now, if he starts going, technical, then we will too, obviously. But we'll see how it goes. We'll just play it that way. Play it by ear, see what happens. Check game audio real quick. Make sure you guys aren't hearing anything in the background. Now you're good. Okay, so this is from Takeover? Whatever. We'll say Take. Take says, sus activities on my phone. Another one of these? I am not a relationship counselor. I am really bad at that. I was able to sleep when I tried to download something from Play Store. Sleep? Every time I try to click on an app from the store, it closes. Tried to look around and saw that my CD is the set to Bangladesh, which is not true, and my Chrome is draining a good slice of my battery, and the only way to use it is to disable or deinstall. And we said, well, Malwarebytes does have a phone app. I would download it and scan first. What type of phone is this? More than likely, it may be some settings that have been changed due to a pop-up being clicked. Do you have this issue in a different browser? My device is a P10 Lite. I don't have any problems with Opera GX and all. My main problem is Play Store that doesn't work. For malware, I've scanned with 2 free apps, Certo and Avast, and got no results. The issue came randomly 5 hours ago after my brother used the device, so I'll try to take a look at the settings. Yeah, it sounds like settings. Yeah, then it sounds like settings. Let us know how that goes. Also, be sure the phone is up to date. And we'll just go up to date. I mean, most people know what I mean when I say that. Android, firmware, etc. Though I don't say firmware anymore because it didn't go very well last time we said firmware. But yeah. All right. Ooh, aren't you pretty? Look at that. This is one of my cleanest builds ever. It's also one of your cleanest backgrounds ever, sir. That is very pretty. Okay, so he has the bigger version of mine, and he is having it facing the actual front of the case, which is pretty sweet. But the thing about that is whenever you do that, I wanted to do that as well, but the problem with this is that when it's facing that way, you can't use any of the PCIe ports, and that's one of the main reasons why I went with a full-size ATX motherboard, is so that I can use the PCIe ports for video feeds, operating system, stuff like that. And now I can't use any of it. So then at that point, I'll just go back to an ITX build. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's pretty sweet, but you know, it is what it is, you know, with that. I do like the way his memory looks. It's very pretty. And he only has 2 DIMM slots? No, he has more than 2 DIMM slots. Why does he have 3? What kind of processor is this? This 3.3 makes me think that he has an older processor, like Gen 3, like 3930K, 4930K type stuff. That's usually when you only had 3 slots, but that's kind of weird that he has 3. Or 2? It's 2, but it looks like 3. That's really weird, bro. I'm not sure what kind of processor that is. What processor is that? What processor is that? What processor is that? Is that really 3 DIMM slots? What is this? Am I going crazy? 1, 2, 3. 3 DIMM slots. Why is there 3 DIMM slots on this processor, on this motherboard? Like, okay, the 4930K, 3930K. Okay. I was looking at the other screen and it looked kind of weird. The 4930K, 3930K, those X79 platforms, those guys had 3 DIMM slots. I don't know too many motherboards that have 3 DIMM slots. That's kind of an interesting one. The fact that he does have it is pretty sweet. That means it may just be beyond me, as in I've never had something like that, because apparently this bad boy looks super expensive. So it may just be me, just because I'm looking at it and it's like, this thing is super detailed. So he may really be like that. This motherboard may really just be like that, where it actually has, well, it has, well, I don't know. I don't know. Cause I don't, like, we look at that other picture, man, I don't see DIMM on the other side. So it's not like it's doing like 3 and 3. It's just 3. It's weird, man. I don't know if this is real. Let's just call it what I think. It's like, man, I'm starting to wonder, man. Okay, well, it does say Lin Lee here, but yeah, this motherboard is weird, man. I don't know what to say on that one. Maybe there is a motherboard that really has just 3 slots and not 4, or maybe it is 4 and it just doesn't show it here. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. It just caught me off guard. I don't know. My eyes do not see 4 DIMM slots. It sees 3, and it is irking me because it brings me back to my X79 days. All right, moving on. Refresh rate mismatch, need confirmation on findings. I remember this. So this guy has 360 hertz panels, and he swapped one of them out to 165 hertz panel, and he noticed some issues with it. And I was telling him that I had the exact same problem. Like, for example, the one we use now, I have a top panel that is a 2K240, and my bottom panel is a 4K60 with great image quality. So I use my bottom panel for like editing videos, but I use my top panel for gaming and looking at, you know, our streams and stuff like that. That way I can make sure that the color is accurate in our our live streams, as well as see everything or play games if I had to, you know, back when we actually were playing games on the same stream. So that's the reason why I did that. But it does cause issues, like for example with Adobe and stuff like that. So I was just letting him know essentially that it can cause issues. But we were like, okay, well, what's wrong with leaving the 165 hertz or the 240 hertz, the higher refresh panel as the main? Because when you do that, it limits a lot of your issues. He said, nothing wrong with leaving the gut monitor as the main, just was something I observed is all. I read some stories about mixing and matching refresh rates, so I was conducting my own testing to confirm under the conditions this would be an issue. I'm going to be replacing my main monitor anyway, so in theory it wouldn't be an issue. Yeah. It's always been little annoyances here or there while running this setup. But it's hard for me to replace a monitor that works. Oh, that's bad. You're dead. But it's hard for me to replace a monitor that works. Yeah, it's hard for me to replace a monitor that works. Yeah, you can't even troubleshoot it. It's so annoying. Like it depends on the game. It depends on the situation. It's gonna be like that. But yeah, there's not a whole lot to say. It's not even worth troubleshooting. Yeah, it's always been little annoyances here or there while running the setup, but it's hard for me to replace a monitor that works. So I feel your pain, bro. Yeah, we'll leave it at that, man. There's no point. He didn't really ask a technical issue. He just asked, you know, have you noticed this issue? And I notice it all the time. You know, it's just that it's so minor. You know, you can fix it. All you gotta do is change it back to the right refresh rate. That's stupid, by the way. I don't know why I was doing that. I think I was just tripping. But you know, it is what it is. I was just playing around, really. I wasn't, my brain was turned off from most of this. I pulled out this guy here, which is RPK with like 150 bullets, and I just shoot and kill anything that I see. Can't move much, but hey, still pretty sweet. Slow internet on new PS5. So I just got a new PS5, congratulations! And the internet speed is stupid slow, wireless or wired. My PC gets 800 megabits per second wired, and my phone gets 600 is wireless. I tried my 2.4 gig and 5 gig channels, tried wired, tried DNS settings, tried MTU settings. Nothing makes this thing get half decent speeds, which, by the way, are maybe 40 megabits per second and wireless and wired. There's no way, right? No, I mean, I get a bit faster. I have similar speeds, but get a bit faster than that. A lot of it has to do with the server you are connecting to, as that will hinder your speeds. As that will hinder your speeds. Yeah, it depends on who you're connecting to, bro. If you're connecting to, you know, overseas somewhere, then, you know, it's a possibility that your speed might be better or worse. For example, if we're talking like Thailand, Philippines, Singapore, versus, you know, someplace in China or something along those lines, Bangladesh, etc., then typically Singapore, Thailand, Philippines, okay, maybe not Philippines, but Singapore and Thailand typically have better internet speeds. Philippines is okay, but Philippines is on an island, so, you know. So yeah, typically those have better internet speeds because they're kind of very, very popular areas to go, you know what I mean? So depending on where you are with your PlayStation can dictate your speeds, because it all depends on who you're connecting to. Whereas your phones, they just connect to whatever's closest. So that's not a fair comparison to the PS5, but I definitely understand your plight. Alrighty, group 5, let's do this. Series S, multiple controllers, I gotcha. When multiple controllers are used with the Series S, sometimes I can add an extra profile, Minecraft, and other times both controllers will control the same profile. I have 3 daughters, so that's up to 4-player local co-op. Hey, my man, he knows the reason why people really have kids is to play video games with them, but it is super inconsistent. If I reset the console, it sometimes fixes it 3 wireless, 1 wired. When the wired will sometimes just take over an in-use profile rather than be recognized as a new device. What is the workaround for when this happens aside from setting 4 to 5 times and hoping it works? a workaround for it? Well, you can try to delete and recreate the profiles, or copy the profiles and see if it makes a difference. But you don't have a whole lot of options here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So if we're on the Xbox Series S, X, whatever, and we're here and we're looking at the controller, which is here, accessories. Now, when we're going to configure and we set up these profiles, you don't have a whole lot of options here. Like, you have the slot, and then you have edit, you have copy, trash can, copy, trash can, and whatever this one was. Name it. Okay, so that's pretty much all you have there. So when you have multiple profiles, like profile 1, profile 2, and you're trying to set it to which one it's supposed to be on, it's very difficult for you to really do anything. Your only real options are trash can and copy. You know what I mean? So in this particular setup, you just really don't have a whole lot of options when dealing with the controller itself. So I'm only going to give you options that will actually help you on this, which will be copy or delete. They're just, you just don't have any options here. You can try to copy and delete and see if it makes a difference, but really there's just no options here, unfortunately. Well, you can try to delete and recreate the profiles, or copy the profiles and see if it makes a difference. But unfortunately, there just really isn't a lot of options there. Sorry, but let me know what happens when you try to copy/recreate them. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's two options. You know what I mean? Whenever it comes to creating profiles, man, it sucks, but it is what it is, kind of thing. Alrighty, next up, controller right trigger stuck. It's not physically, I can still press it, but it's as though I'm holding it down. Oh, it's stuck. Well, then it sounds like it's stuck on the board itself. I would try for a RMA, or hit it against something. I wouldn't say that. Or try to jar it loose by pressing the button frantically, yeah. I will say we'll try that. I mean, if he doesn't have the option of RMA, I would still try to keep pressing it to see if it will actually fix itself. Or I was gonna say hit it against something, but I don't want him to break this controller because it's already kind of on its way out. But this happens. This is quite normal with Xbox controllers. If it's bent down like that and the button is actually down and is realizing that you're holding it when you're pressing it, then yeah, it's probably loose or damaged or something along those lines. But more than likely, it sounds like it's held down. Got the battle station together. Hey, Aya Neo, and got a little Final Fantasy in there. Aya Neo. Nier Automata. Why did I say Aya Neo? Nier Automata. That's what I was trying to say. I don't know why. Because Neo and Nier, I guess. But yes, Nier Automata. I like his chair too. That's a really nice chair. But I like his desk. It's like, I like his setup. It's like, it's wood. It's like classical. You know what I mean? And on top of that, his case also matches. That is pretty clean though. Like your setup, very fractal define. Oh no, fractal design north, very fractal north of you, very fractal north. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, fractal north. Oh my goodness, my hands just went to a totally different location. Not on the keyboard, that's for sure. Fractal north, this guy here. Very, very pretty case. I actually just saw this at Micro Center today. Like, it's been very hard to get the Fractal North. It's almost been impossible. It's one of the reasons why I ended up going with the O11 Mini. But now that I have the O11 Mini with the monitor in front, I don't know if I can ever go back. But the Fractal North is one of the most popular cases. But now, not a lot of people are buying cases these days, so they're able to restock them. But yeah, it was a very, very pretty case in its time, and which is, still now, but just computers have died down over the years. Now that everybody can get a graphics card easily. But yeah, that's what it reminds me of. It looks like he should have gone Fractal North on that. But, you know, I'm not going to be the type of person that tells a person not to go SFX, as I have small form factors and SFX PCs and or SFX power supplies and small form factor cases. So, I mean, you know, you do what you do, bro. You do you. But still, congrats on the build. Did I already say something like your setup very Fractal North of you? Yep, that looks good. What? The best NVIDIA card ever made. People who haven't upgraded in 6 years, don't let go, baby. 1080 Ti, hold on. This is so true. This is literal facts. I still haven't buried my Zotac 1080 Ti, even though it has no picture. Yeah, I can't even bring myself to do it, bro. Like, I even tried using it. I was like, okay, you know what? I get that you have no picture, but what if I use you as an eGPU and then signal back to the monitor and use the monitor screen? That way, you're not only thing that you're doing is processing. It still didn't work. It's like, I'm dead, let me go. And I was just like, no. But I get that you don't have video, right? But if I put you in an eGPU, right? And then if I just plug it in with a USB-C cable, but I don't use any of your ports, but I just use your graphical horsepower, then it should still work, right? Like, no, bro. The driver won't install. I'm dead, let me go. But wait. What if I install the driver of the eGPU and not the NVIDIA driver and just use the standard display adapter for the graphics card? Well, you don't even see it in Device Manager. So it's not even using the basic driver. It doesn't work. Let it go. And it's still sitting on my shelf. So yeah, I'm still trying to get over this, bro. Like, I don't know if I will ever let it go, man. I'm still holding on for dear life, even though I can't use it. Like, I know it's broken. It's hard to let that bad boy go. Alrighty, let's go to the next one here. Oh, this one got deleted. So, okay, Hogwarts Legacy pre-order bonus help. Okay, so he already deleted that one, so we'll just go ahead and go to the next one. Alrighty, this is from Particular Goal 3221. Headset mic feedback with controller mic. Oh, that's interesting. Just set up my new PS5 today. Was playing Warzone and it was working fine, and then all of a sudden I started getting bad echo and static in my headset, PlayStation Platinum. I have messed with all the settings over and over, but it seems that when I turn on the headset, it automatically turns on the controller mic, creating feedback, static, and echo. If I mute the controller, it also mutes my headset. I'm getting super frustrated because it is making the game unplayable. Help, please. That's interesting. PlayStation, let's see. All right, so PlayStation 5, let's let that guy boot up. Wake up, PS5. It is your birthday. Alrighty, let's see here. Oh, I like that. That's so pretty. That's so pretty. And yes, my closet door is open. I was trying to start moving stuff, but one thing led to another. It's junky, but it's dark back there, so you can't see. Alrighty, let's see. If we go to settings and sound. Okay, so you can choose the input device. And you can say which one you want it as, and then adjust microphone level, microphone status when logged in, and microphone status when logged in. The setting might not work for some devices that have mute functions. Okay, that may be interesting. Microphone status when starting voice chat or broadcast don't change. Okay, audio output. He wasn't talking about the audio output. He's just talking about the microphone. So we'll go with this one here. So basically say, make sure his input device is set to the headset, and also say microphone status with logged in. Make sure he turns that feature off. So I'm gonna just start writing it because it's gonna be very hard for me to remember that. So if you go to settings, sound, input device, make sure it's set to the headset, then where it says microphone status when logged in, set this feature to off and see if it makes a difference. What are your options on this screen? By the way, I don't have that particular headset. I do have PlayStation type headsets, but I don't know if it would give me what he has, you know, because he has the newer PlayStation headset and I have the older ones for the PS4. So we'll just go at it this way here and see exactly what he says and then kind of go from there. Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't see that. But yeah, basically I said just go to settings, sound, input device, make sure it's set to the headset. Then where it says microphone status when logged in, set this feature to off. Let's see if it makes a difference. What are your options on this screen? So yeah, just go from there and just try to get an idea of what his options are that he has to choose from. But that's what I would go for and then just kind of go from there. But if we're talking about the controller port, I thought, oh, I'm stupid. Also, you can mute the mic on the controller. So if you guys can't see it because it's a little hard, but that is a mic mute on the controller. So we should probably add that. I didn't realize that it could do that. I never used it. Also, what happens if you just simply mute the mic on the controller by pressing the button below the PS5 logo? Yeah, just mute it, bro. I didn't. Okay, to be fair, I sound condescending, but I'm not, because I didn't even know it. Like I never pressed it because I've never looked at my controller for mic input. Okay, Rajan Tech Metis. Wow, that is really tiny. That's a pretty nice little build you got there. It's very sturdy. Okay. So he has a Noctua fan. He has the default AMD cooler. He has a Corsair SF600. I love this power supply. It's so good. And then he has a graphics card, like a 3060 or something along those lines. Did I get it right? 3070. I was close. With a 3900X. That would make sense because that processor is the heatsink is the heatsink of the 3900X. OC 80C on load, all core. I mean, it's nice, especially being portable. Let's swap out my Wraith cooler. The 3900X, for those of you that aren't aware, does have the ability to go less wattage. Like you can go eco mode on the 3900X, which is why I kept them. Like I have two 3900Xs and they can actually still go eco mode. So for those of you unaware, if you do have a 3900X, you can put it in eco mode and use it in portable cases. That's one of the reasons why I've stayed with Ryzen, is because I like the eco mode as opposed to changing the settings to make them match eco and Intel. What do I think? The case is tiny, and every time I work in it, come away with some flesh cuts on my hands, but it is nice and portable with plenty of power for the moment, at least. I love to swap out the Wraith cooler, but for now it works. You can stand to go with a Noctua cooler and maybe eco mode, but it's not that pressing. The 3900X, he has precision boost overclock set to 80 degrees Celsius on load. So yeah, he has or all core overclock undervolt 70 degrees Celsius. So he's tried it. So yeah, I mean, but overall it's fine. Overall it's fine. I mean, I wouldn't mess with it. It looks fine. I mean, it's powerful. It gets him whatever he wants, you know. It's a little bit difficult to work in because of all the cables, but overall it's still really good. Plus he has so much cooling. He has air coming in all around it, and then he has it exhausting out the other side. Like, it's a really nice build, bro. Like, you're really good here. So I don't know. A lot of times people do that, man. You get into these situations where, oops, sorry. You get into these situations where you build these rigs, man, and you're constantly wanting to upgrade. Okay, I want to try this. I want to try that. I was always like this. I've always trying to figure out ways to upgrade. But now with this guy, hold on. There we go. With this guy, I don't have that problem anymore because I don't need to mess with it anymore because I use it for the live stream, and it is basically my main rig. So I don't have to mess with it as much, but I understand that sentiment, which is why I still do that on SFX cases. I always am trying to upgrade and find the best case, the best setup, the best backpack that can fit the SFX PC and all this kind of stuff, and then not go anywhere. I don't know. It's a problem. It's a problem. I'll give you that. It is a problem. But yeah, that's, now you guys can see what my case looks like. It's very pretty. I need to talk about it and actually start doing videos on it. But yeah, I definitely understand his sentiment. I do that too. Alrighty, let's go to the next one here. Help. You know how we love these kind of tickets that say help. Help me fix my internet connection. Okay, I really need to fix my connection. It's not stable or it gets down. Basically, when I run the troubleshoot, it always says the default gateway is not, I don't want to go too high on this one, but we'll do it. Basically, when I run the troubleshoot, it's always the default gateway is not available or something about DNS not set up correctly. By the way, I'm using a USB adapter or however you call it, and it's not even fast, doesn't get the full speed from my router. USB Wi-Fi or USB wired adapter. If it's wireless, try wired to see if it makes a difference. As for DNS, you can change this in network settings. Choose the adapter that is connected. You know what? I'm not gonna say all that. As for DNS, you can change this if need be, but let me know what happens when you try wired. We'll go with that. I'm not going to start talking about DNS settings because the reason why I don't want to do that is because you have to undo it if you go somewhere. You see what I'm saying? And I don't want to have to do that because now we're talking about a full paragraph. Okay, you said it like this, but then when you leave, you want to change it to this because if you go outside the country, then Google may not work and so on and so forth. So I'd rather not do that. I'd rather just go like this until we figure out exactly what he's talking about and then go from there. Alrighty, and the last video for today. Gotta stop a little bit early, gotta do some work here. What is my download? Why is my download speed such poo? Titanfall 2, my man is trying to download. My computer has always had internet troubles, but through many upgrades, I've managed to get it down to occasional lag spikes. However, my download speed has always stayed this bad. Steam is using 30 megabits per second average, which should be much more, but only downloading at its peak of 3. Is there any actual explanation for this? Ethernet is not an option, sadly, so I have to work with Wi-Fi, but the Wi-Fi card I have should be able to handle much more than this. Yeah, it depends on what server you're trying to connect to, first off, but I feel like a lot of people are going to say something here, so let's see what everybody said. Okay, thanks for letting me know. These are the difference, megabits per second. Oh yeah, they're trying to correct them. That's cool. Okay, thanks for letting me. Oh no. Okay, so his okay, this is 2.8 megabytes per second multiplied by 8, and we're talking 24. So basically, he's running 24 megabits per second here with a peak of around 24 megabits per second. So it's doing okay. It's just not, you know, but it depends on what server he's connected to and so on and so forth. But okay, thanks for letting me know. With that in mind, any ideas on why my computer still downloads so slowly? Probably because you have bad internet connection, limited bandwidth. Yeah. Steam download is directly related to CPU speed, SSD speed, right? And internet, my max is 100-ish. Yeah, mine isn't the greatest. I wonder, can you show, here, let me check Steam. Actually, you know what? Let's just go to the AMD rig. My Windows 11 rig is down right now. For some reason, it's not working properly, but let's go to, actually, you know what? Let me click on this without you guys seeing it, just to make sure it doesn't do anything crazy. Like, update Steam. 1 second, it is updating. I don't know how long I'm gonna sit on this. I'm just gonna probably give it a few more seconds here because I don't think we really need it in order to answer my man's question here. But we'll give it a few seconds here. Is it actually working? Trying to. You're taking too long. Okay. It's opening. Just give me 1 second here. Okay. So if we were to go to, I know you can't see just yet, but I just want to get into my settings because, you know, if you go into your settings, the first page is your information. If we go to settings, and what was this question again? Oh, internet speeds. Web browser, remote play, broadcasting, music, downloads. Ah, yeah, download region. Okay. So I can't show it to you, but maybe I can do like that. Is that safe? Yeah, that's safe. Okay. So I changed it so that it doesn't show my exact area and location, right? But what I was trying to get at is that if you're on Steam and you're in the settings and then your downloads location, you can actually change the download region. So it may be that he's set to an incorrect region, and then also throttle downloads while streaming. Also make sure that none of this stuff is checked and limit bandwidth and all that stuff. So basically tell him to go to settings, downloads, and make sure none of the things in download restrictions is checked, as well as make sure his download region is the closest to him. That's what I was trying to get at. So yeah, mine isn't the greatest either. However, go to settings, downloads, settings, downloads, settings, downloads, and make sure nothing is checked under internet restrictions. Make sure nothing is checked under internet restrictions, as well as make sure the region is the closest to you. Make sure the region selected is the closest to you. Selected is the closest to you. Yeah, we'll go with that. Be a little different than everybody else's, but yeah, it's getting about 24 megabits per second ish. You know, it's not great, but you know, Steam has never really been the fastest when it comes to downloading games, even though you have faster internet speed. Mine does the same thing, and I noticed it too, but it's more something I just tolerated. I never really kind of went into it to try to figure out why, because I knew I wasn't throttling it. It just kind of does that. Alrighty, and we will call that today. That was that's a good comeback after what Zelda did to me. But I don't know, I'll figure out some kind of way to handle those kind of games when they come out. I mean, we're talking about once in every 2-3 years a game like that comes out that just completely takes my life away. So I do apologize for that, but I'm back now, so hey, we'll take it as a bump on the chin and just move forward. So thank you guys so much for watching, and if you like this video, go to the like button. If you really like it, go to subscribe. I love you either way. Take care, all the best, and bye. I will see you tomorrow. Peace.